It's always a pleasure to react to this guy. The sounds that he can make are so diverse and interesting and absolutely blow my mind. It's beyond what I could even imagine myself. So I am very excited to react to him again. I love the Gregorian chant in this. I love how it's like a mix of symphonic metal and like death metal, I suppose.
Alright, so I've been getting a lot of requests to do this one. I know it's our older stuff, but I figured why not do it? You know, I got some time off, so this is Immortal. If you like what you hear, check out my Patreon. Now, it's a little hot in here, so bear with me on this one.
He's got such an interesting speaking voice, and he's got such a resonant speaking voice. It's really, really twangy. It kind of goes through his nose as well a little bit, but he is someone who obviously just gets a lot of resonance in his speaking voice anyway, and a lot of distortion, once you have the different types of distortion, is playing with the resonance and how it can make different tones. So your resonance, your voice box is a resonant chamber. Not your voice box, your vocal tract is the resonant chamber. And that, by shaping it and changing the shape that you're making with your tongue or your jaw or your vocal tract itself, then you can make lots and lots of different sounds. And you can do that with singing, and you can also do it with distorted vocals. I'm already blown away. Okay, so there's going to be some of you watching being like, wow, that just sounds like a lot of different noise. But the fact is that if you listen really carefully, there'll be some of you listening being like, I can hear it. Every single little line has a different tone, has a different texture. He's using different types of distortion, and there are many ways that can distort your vocals. So it's when even vibrations that come from the vocal cords or just your air moving through your vocal tract get disrupted, and it becomes kind of uneven, and you get all these little kind of spikes and noise, and that is distortion. And then how you shape your vocal tract and how you shape everything above it, and also how you're using your vocal cords as well and your false vocal folds can affect that sound. Interesting. Okay, so it's really interesting. You can see he's shaping his tongue in different ways, and that is something that we can do in clean singing as well, that we should do in clean singing. The way we shape our tongue defines the vowel that we make, different tongue positions. If you're talking, just talk to yourself, you'll feel how your tongue is constantly moving, and that is changing the shape of your vocal tract and making the vowel sound. But also slight adaptations in that will change the tone of your singing, much like it would if you were not doing clean singing, if you were doing more of a distorted vocal. So all the things that he's kind of doing here, he's kind of doing a lot of the things that you would do in singing but without the vocal cords. and he's doing it in a very, very precise way. Very, very precise. I just am overawed. See those little changes in tongue position? It's so great. There's that tongue movement again. Really interesting. Okay, one of the things that I wanted to talk about is a kind of rule is the bigger the shape you make, the warmer and deeper the sound is, and the smaller the shape you make, and sometimes the wider and narrower, the higher and more kind of thin the sound is. So it could be something that's more of like a pig squeal, could be a bit wider, or something that sounds like a bit more deep and growly. It can be like, oh, this kind of round shape. This is interesting because distortions by themselves don't have a particular pitch, although they do lie within a frequency range, and that frequency range can be higher or lower, and that is kind of what he's adapting here. You couldn't like sing that note if I was like sing the note he's making, but you can find that range. You can tell that it's a higher or lower kind of frequency range. Gee, that sounds higher than the previous one, you know? Even though it's technically not a note. It's so amazing. You can hear, like, I love how he brings the diction out in some. Everything is so nuanced. And for a genre that people often dismiss as just being noise, it's so blooming nuanced. And I think if anyone took the time to sit and listen to this properly, they would be like, wow, especially someone like this, because I think, I don't know, he'll probably go down as one of the greats. I would be surprised if he didn't. But what I'm also finding really interesting is how close he is to the microphone. Now, bear in mind how close I am to the microphone right now. Okay, probably not the best. I should probably be a bit closer. But I want to use this to illustrate how loud he is. He might not be as loud as you think. He's got really, really close, and he wants to pick up all those tiny, tiny little nuances. It's not about being loud. I think people then push and feel like, I've got to be loud all the time, but it's actually about shaping everything in the way that boosts the resonance, that makes it sound like it's loud, rather than you just pushing lots of air behind it and trying to make it loud. And that is how you're going to create a nuanced and very diverse vocal performance, rather than something that, one, hurts you, and two, is kind of all on one level. It isn't always about volume, and it feels like this style should be about volume. So it's kind of counterintuitive. It blew my mind when I kind of realised this. But, you know, if I am here, I don't have to be that loud at all. Oh, those harmonics.
No problem.
I'm sure it's not a problem for you. So what they've got going on here is something that's really kind of clever, and for people who aren't as into metal vocals, is that they've got a really distinct melody going through the guitar line. So you have a hook for those people that desire, like me, that desire a kind of sing-along vocal hook. Then you've got that in your guitar line, and then you can kind of let your ear switch between one and the other. One of the things that I also find is that it's just so incredibly relaxing. I find this style of vocals, it's like white noise, isn't it? I could actually fall asleep to it.
Alright, here we go.
I didn't think I could, and now I've got into it. I'm like, yes. Although there's so much going on, maybe I... Wow.
There you have it.
Right.
It's only a little hot, you got a little sweat going on, but always a good time. Like I said, if you like what you hear, check out my Patreon. You know where to go. Otherwise, I'll see you soon.
Great timing. If this guy doesn't go down as one of the vocal greats, then I don't know what's happening with the world. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.